siya bagasan in this televised series of the final chapters of Ancelotti at Real Madrid. Today, I think an important step has been taken, and it was the coach himself who did it by unlocking an answer he never wanted to give, and that is to speak clearly about his farewell at Real Madrid, but clear with many nuances, since, and now you will see, he has not done it as if he were giving a farewell press conference, but a preamble. And playing with those times, he still doesn't want to reveal. It is perfectly understood because there is still a league to be played, and that on the 25th it will end. But I insist, and it seems very significant to me that today he already talked about the day of his farewell. Later we will talk about this mess in Barça between two players and someone who has been inside Barça for a long time and says that the behavior of one of them is unworthy and shameful, etc., etc. Now let's go with that. Welcome, Madrid fans. How are you? Ancelotti's press conference was at noon in Valdebebas. Everything sounded like a farewell. They asked him about his future on many occasions, and this was the first response that applies to all the others. That is, he didn't reveal anything until later we heard what we heard. But first, it was this.
Behind Carlo Ancelotti, even in London, it remains to be seen what is true about this and if he can clarify anything about his future.
Yes, I can clarify that. The truth is that I have a lot of affection for my club, my players, and my fans, just as I have respect for them at the same time. So about my future, I will talk on the 25th and not before then.
Well, later they asked him again. He mentioned the 25th, that's when he'll speak, etc. He said this, for example.
Really, what I have to do is what I'm going to do, is what I do, which is not talk about my future today. I know it disappoints you a little, but I do not care.
He was talking about a communication failure between journalists and him, because some ask one thing and he always answers the same, Mr. Ross, except when, in a way, I think it was Miguelito from the COPE network, right? In a very smart way, they referred to his farewell, and it's the journalistic way when you see there's nothing to dig there, at least dig a little bit, and that's when he dropped this.
What is going to happen, I'm telling you, I don't want to tell you, I don't know. Whatever it is, it will be a farewell. Fantastic. Because I have a lot of affection for the club. The club shows me a lot of affection. I will never have a fight or argument with the club. I have never had one in 6 years. And I will never allow myself to have an argument or a fight with the club on the last day, which could be the 25th of 2025. It could be the 25th of 2026 or 2030. This I don't know, but the day it will be a very beautiful day.
And it will be in May of 2025. Some say if they win LaLiga, right, it will be in May of 2025. But I hope it will be that it will be nice, that it will be well, in accordance with what Carlo Ancelotti represents at Real Madrid, the most successful coach in its history. Let it be better than Zidane's, by the way, because Zidane, the two times he left Real Madrid, well, one time there was a press conference and he left just like that. The other was the letter, although later things were smoothed over with the president, but Zidane would have deserved, well, he deserved it, in fact. He should have received a better farewell from Real Madrid. It's true that he was a bit upset when he left, although any hard feelings have been smoothed over, but let's not miss the chance to give this man a great farewell. I've come across some incredible things like, no, what the heck, a good farewell, if such. Because some, well, he has Ancelotti in his sights. That's not my case. even though I've read some comments from people who believe that, well, that I'm against Ancelotti. No, I'm against what has been done this year and the work of the team that I see and how little work has been done. But I have always valued all the good he brings to Real Madrid, not only in titles, which are a consequence, but also many times in play, in those intangibles of Ancelotti, in the trust with the players, in how he knows how to treat them, etc., 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 right? May it be a good farewell. Today, on some front pages, they were already talking about Solari as the interim coach for the Club World Cup. That is gaining a lot of momentum, and not Xabi Alonso, whom Real Madrid would ask or would be delighted if it were the Tolosara. But maybe he doesn't want to complicate his life. We also mentioned it in one of the latest videos, and it would be the Argentinian. What I've always wondered is with which technical team. It doesn't make sense. It makes much more sense to appoint an Arbeloa or a Raúl who go with their technical team. Regarding Solari, what do you want me to say? Maybe they are putting together bits and pieces for the technical team. It's strange, but we will keep examining that situation as well. For now, we are worried about Ancelotti here. And by the way, he said that, of course, with with the absences in defense, Vallejo has more chances to play. We'll have to see. Remember, tomorrow at 2 in the afternoon, Bernabeu against Celta. We're playing for the league. Tonight, Barça plays against Valladolid. I think they will win. We need to reach 4 points at Montjuic and then be able to win there. A very difficult task because we've lost all the classics, but staying 1 point behind Barça, and that means winning against Celta tomorrow. It is not just any thing, but of course the situation is what it is, and Vallejo could play. They have spoken very well about Güler. And for me, Güler has earned a starting position on this team in several performances, but especially in the Copa final. He spoke like this about the Turk, the Italian coach at the moment, in the press conference.
Last year, right at the end, what if he counts on him? Thank you.
I think Güler has progressed very well. He is starting to have more prominence in the future. He will have even more prominence. He is showing qualities. He is showing more continuity in the game. He is also showing that he can play as an inside forward. I think he's going to be a fantastic inside forward. Not just a winger, because he has a sense of the game. He handles it well. I think for the future of Real Madrid, he is going to be a very, very important player. Because there are also not many players with this type of profile, with this quality that he has in the midfield.
Carleto, for these 5 remaining games, man, just put Güler into for what you have left in the convent, as they say, hey, has shown you that he is one of the fittest in the squad and who can best solve a problem of ball distribution and clarity in the midfield. Put Güler on already, man. Besides, last year he scored a really good goal against Celta right here at the Bernabeu. Well, that's with regard to Real Madrid. Regarding Barça, this civil war that's being talked about, this big problem, right? What would happen if it were happening the other way around at Real Madrid? We had a similar situation last year between Courtois and Lunin, but as they will clarify now, it has nothing to do with it. And it's because of and also he's a guy, one of the few Barcelona players I quite like, which is Ter Stegen. It's because of Ter Stegen's attitude regarding, well, his the importance it has, of course, but his excessive appearances, his overacting maybe, in situations where, well, it keeps him away from the playing fields after his ligament tear. Was it a cruciate? It was something else, right? But anyway, it was in any case something of very long duration. He would already be recovered, would play tonight against Valladolid apparently. But we saw him very prominent in the too much in the Copa del Rey final. We have seen him appear many times, and that to Szczęsny, well, I imagine it must be bothering him. But it was an idea that many of us had, and it has been confirmed. This is Santi Jimenez, who has been covering Barça for 2,000 years with the Prisa Group, Cadena Ser, Diario AS, who said this last night on El Larguero. Attention.
Yes, well, it seems to me that Szczęsny needed a reset, but because it's true that the poll, which has gone very well, even much better than the company expected. It has gone very well, and it started to decline as soon as Ter Stegen began to show up. And it seems to me that it is unworthy of a captain that Ter Stegen has done what he has done.
And it's not the only thing they can generate is a bad atmosphere. Logically, especially when you have a teammate who, has done well, right? It is what it is. You know, you come from where you come from. Injuries are what they are. You also want to recover his place. But we are in the final stretch of the season, Santi. There's a second leg of the semi-finals in the Champions League to get into a final on Tuesday. There are 4 or 5, including tomorrow's games left until the end of the league, and you are playing for the title. And you come from 7 months without playing. Damn, it's just that there's something that's being compared, and I think it's unfair to compare it, which is the starting position of Courtois in the final against Liverpool. But Courtois never came out to ask for the starting position. Correct? Ter Stegen is speaking on all the podcasts in Germany. He just needs to speak on Sálvame, on El Hormiguero. I mean, he is going to all the events and saying that he is ready. And I think this has an impact. Yes, it influences, and I insist it can create a bad atmosphere because that's how things are. For tomorrow, what do you expect? I say this because things are not for rotating one way or the other. It is the theory of the blanket taken to the extreme. That is to say, Barça has to win because, regardless of what Madrid does the next day with Celta, Barça must face the Clásico with a 4-point advantage. Personally, for me, the league is more important than the Champions League.
Well, and here he already starts with his theories. When he said about the final of Courtois of Madrid against Liverpool, he did not refer to the Liverpool of 14, but to Dortmund, the last one, 15, right? And of course, and he's saying it from Barcelona, And I think he's absolutely right. The prominence that is being Ter Stegen is boasting here when he hasn't played a single minute since he got injured. He said it podcasts in Germany in appearing in the cup final, racing the trophy, being very present, all this. Courtois did not do this at all. That's why they make a difference. Isn't that great? Because someone from Barcelona saying this, that's really nice. Because if not, they would be well, we've seen it a million times saying that on the other side it's worse, and it's not. Courtois last year was very much in the background, and here, however, the German noticed that, well, they will know. I hope it destabilizes. I think it won't. Or that Szczęsny keeps playing and fails for what they were saying, that has the breath on the neck from Ter Stegen, so the man feels a bit pressured. I hope he continues to feel that way, in any case, in the rest of the league and of course in the Champions. Hope you all do very well. Give it a like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel, please comment, share, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.